Hello. Looks like my internet might be throwing a fit again. Hello, 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 hello. I forgot to mute my mic, but I actually had my mic itself muted, which is nice. Just like hair all over my windscreen on it. And I need to clean that today, I think. That'll be something I'll do after the stream. Brendan, hello. Nightbot tends to take a little bit of time to get working. How are we all today? Brendan, what is it you wanted help with? Please don't ask for help with your internet, because mine's... like, I'm not the person to ask for that. So I'm pretty sure we've all seen this release today. The John Deere 90. I do want to use it for a little bit, just to kind of get the stream started. Your PC came, very nice. There's Nightbot. Nightbot's around. I forgot to change the latency. It has just occurred to me that the latency is wrong. Hey Aaron, I'm doing good today. How are you? There's a red light beside the on button on your PC that's flashing. What does it mean, do I know? This is gonna sound like a silly question, but I'll explain why it's not once you answer. Is your PC actually turned on at the moment with the red light flashing, Brendan? Like, it sounds like a really dumb question to ask, but there is a reason, and I'll tell you the reason once you've answered. Hey CD, how's it going today, dude? Let's do some bale stacking with this thing. See how well it works. Granted, I'm doing bale stacking with a pallet fork, but still. Yes. And there are no other lights flashing. It is just that one red light. I get the feeling some people might realize where I'm going with this already. It's just that one red light flashing. There's no... like, your computer isn't shouting at you that something's gone wrong or making weird, unexpected noises. It's just that one red light flashing. Because this thing turns a bit too fast for my liking. It's great that it's got a tiny turning circle, but holy cow, is it difficult to... Just that one, it's coming up. No signal on TV when you try and hook it up. Interesting. Why do I go live when you're going to start your class? Because I hate you, Jay the Gamer. New mod? Yes, this released today, Aaron. From Black Sheep Modding. It's got a pathetic horn, but I've come to expect this in Farm Sim. By the way, Jay the Gamer, I don't really hate you, it's just the time that I usually go live. Yeah, this little John Deere 90 released today, and I'm fairly certain that Landy's going to do some stuff with it as well today. Whether it's a mod spotlight or him doing much the same as me and finding an excuse to use it in his stream. Yeah, he's gonna use it. Things I like about this is it's pretty. It works pretty well. Things I don't like, it doesn't seem to handle this pallet fork. Granted, it's from the Massey pack very well. so I might be using the wrong bit of equipment. I know it does come with a shovel, which... the digger pack I'm looking forward to more than the Massies, I'm gonna be honest. You must be missing something. What could you be missing? What could you be missing? See, it's difficult without seeing your entire arrangement, Brendan, to try troubleshoot this with you. What I think is going on is you're trying to plug the TV into the motherboard, and you should be plugging the TV cable into the graphics card. A lot of PCs, when they've got graphics cards, don't like you trying to use the motherboard for a whole hell of a lot. You want the Massey Pack more? Real talk, I don't like it. The only good thing in that Massey Pack was the mower, to be honest. In my eyes. Some of the tractors were nice, but the modeling was a bit off. And the combine just didn't exist in reality. They just invented a combine, effectively. Same goes for the header. I mean, it was something that just straight up didn't exist. So, nitpicky or not, that's kind of the way that I feel, is modders shouldn't be inventing stuff unless they're branding it Lizard or, you know, self-branding it. Safe CD or 4D brought out a trailer entirely of his own invention, you know, his own design. And branded it Lizard or, you know, a 4D modding trailer. I'd be fine with that, because you wouldn't be trying to pass it off as, you know, Brauhan or something like that. But, you know, Black Sheep coming out with a combine of their own invention, effectively, and branding it Massey Ferguson, I'm not the biggest fan of. Is there harvesting to be done? There should be harvesting to be done. There's fields 30 and fields 29 and 30. Why did I not have them? Oh, the wet crop warning. Yeah, that's a thing. This is gonna sound really dumb, Brendan. Do you have the HDMI plugged in, like, correctly into the TV? And do you have the TV on the right channel to pick up the HDMI? Because I've made that mistake before. Like, I'm not trying to be insulting by asking you that. I've made that mistake. Hey, Blurred. Right. I've gone and made a mess of this bale stack by trying to use the little deer. Also, hello, Simulate. Computer monitor wouldn't make a whole hell of a lot of difference, Liam. The issue seems to be... Ah! Would that work? Perhaps. Is it worth suggesting? Yes. Will you have it available? Also, perhaps. Brendan, can you try using a different HDMI cable? If you haven't already. If the different HDMI cable doesn't do anything, try using different HDMI ports on both the PC and the TV, and just faff about with that kind of stuff. If you got a second cable, like, try combinations of stuff. Can you make a new rule for Insanity? I mean, you can suggest one, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna actually accept it. Yeah, kind of like that, Liam. Like, I think it might be a cable issue. Might. Very, very slim chance that that's the case. But I have had it before where I've spent an hour or two troubleshooting something only to find out I was using a bad cable. That's PC advice, Sim. My exploits in the Deadliest Catch game are thankfully not recorded anywhere. What's wrong? Brendan's having issues with his PC, Pa, and we're trying to help him. Also, at least I put the boys on mine before I dumped it overboard by mistake. You just picked up a pot and just threw it overboard for funsies. I seem to have more bales on this bottom row this time. PC advice with Dave. Yeah, Dave trying to give PC advice blindly, considering I tend to have troubles with my own, and kind of bodge troubleshoot everything. Which I guess is the best way to troubleshoot, is just make it work, and if it works, it's fine. By the way, I'm not going to be doing bale stacking for the entire stream. If we have issues with work where the wet crop warning is still there, what I'll do is I'll just fast forward time until it's gone. Just came in from mowing the wettest lawn. I mean, why were you mowing a wet lawn? Who disliked the stream? Probably the guy who was complaining about me having the audacity to criticize a mod in a mod review earlier. Like, I'm sorry that I'm not blindly praising every modder in the world, but my way of trying to give to the farm sim community is trying to increase the quality of mods that the community gets. And that necessitates me telling modders that, hey, this thing that you did is great, but it could be improved by doing this. Or this thing that you did with the mod that is otherwise great is a massive mistake, and you should look into rectifying it if possible. And some people hate that. Three likes and 20 people watching. Welcome to YouTube now, Sim. This is the way that my streams have been for far too long. On the bright side, the frame drops appear to have stopped. On the downside, I'm not looking forward to... I can't actually finish this stack, I've just realised. I'm now at the limits of what the tractor can do. Did I get 40 cattle I knew there was something I meant to download. It's not a big deal though, because I wouldn't have been able to use it today anyway. Because, you know, Insanity and generally speaking, with the exception of straight swaps like the Massey to the Deer, in terms of skid steers, I don't like swapping machinery out on this map. Or in the challenge, right? Let's just get time moving forward so I can get rid of the wet crop. While I'm doing that, we can get driving over to field. It'll be 29, I think, is the one that has... Is it 29 or 30? 30 should be corn. Yeah, 29 is the one that has the crop that I can actually harvest with this. Wet crops warning is gone. We are good to get into the field and get harvesting. Assuming, of course, we can fit the combine down. Which we totally can, it's just gonna take a bit of precise driving. You know, that thing that I'm terrible at. Right, what's gone wrong here is... Aha! Yes, I see. Perfect. Digger pack is useless? I disagree, Pa. I like the digger pack. It's super useful for doing stuff with like manuring at the BGA. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Well done. What? I've not done anything wrong today yet. So far. I've not even lost €1 in terms of in-game cash, so I don't know why you're face spamming. I am clearly an expert farmer. See, look. Perfection. I forgot the latency. I am aware of this. I already realized that problem, Yanis, and there's nothing I can do to fix it now. There is absolutely no way I can fix the latency now. Once I make that mistake, it's locked in for the stream. A6. And all for Farm Bros as well. Hello, hello, hello. You just realized how much money I have. I actually went to great lengths to do a direct swap that actually had the exact cash state kept the same with repainting the truck. I actually went to great pains to make sure that I had exactly the same amount left at the end that I did at the beginning. Because I don't know if you realized, but the actual truck on the thumbnail is pink now, where it was red before. So I have made, you know, a couple of changes to the equipment that I've intentionally done just straight swaps. As my nose is like really itchy. That's not fun. But is shouting needed tomorrow? No, the problem was today was just kind of, I'm not in a fully here kind of mental place today, Yanis. I don't know why, I'm just not entirely awake, effectively. So it just slipped my mind today. And of course my internet's still doing some farts. Sorry for the way the stream ended yesterday, by the way. My internet died for just long enough that OBS thought I was finished and ended the stream. And then started a new one, which I didn't tell it to do. Or Restream did that, I should say. Restream thought I was done because I'd stopped for like 10 seconds. And it was just long enough to start a new stream, and I didn't want to have two VODs of the stream come in two parts. Aaron, I'm not going to put a rule like that in just because this is vaguely serious, and everything that is pink, or everything that can be pink is pink now. There's just not a whole lot on the map that can be made pink, unfortunately. You got that notification, you were wondering what was going on? Yeah, Restream derped and I got angry with it and there was like 15 minutes left. I didn't want to have a 15-minute long VOD of a stream. And I figured it was, I was as well off just ending it there and then. You've had days like that? Yeah. Those days are just not entirely there. That's about it for me today. I was toying with the idea of not streaming because I'm just not 100% here. Do I know any modder friends who might be able to make everything pink for me? I could. I totally could. I could ask Matt for MatXJS or somebody who knows vehicles a bit more than me for a walkthrough on how to make things color selectable and just do that to everything. The big question is, do I want to? And the answer, quite honestly, is no. Did you put the same message in twice over Farmers about the Lexion 8900? My guess for price, because of the capacity of it, is going to be about 750k in-game. You can buy skin DLCs for both games, 100% proceeds go to charity. See, I like SCS for doing that. That's them straight up giving away money to charity. And encouraging people to do something simple that they might have done anyway. For charity. I approve of that. Like, I don't know if Giants are planning on doing something, genuinely don't know. But I hope Giants do something this month for breast cancer awareness. I know they were kind of shocked when I revealed why I have this weird fascination with the color pink during one of the streams, but with them. But I mean, it's a fantastic cause, and I think more people should support it. And you know, if you can afford to, please donate to a cancer charity. Don't donate to a cancer awareness charity. Those don't really do much. Except say, hey, we exist, give us money, please. That's what a cancer awareness charity does. If you want to donate to a charity, on Facebook, I put up a post last night that links to donations for the Irish Cancer Foundation. They're a fantastic charity, or you know, your own National Cancer Foundation. Cancer Research UK is another good one. But it's cancer awareness charities that I have zero time. I have actually negative time for them. I can't stand them. Did I say cancer research? Cancer awareness. Like, the worst one is Susan G. Komen, which works with, like, a lot of companies. Notably WWE. And it's like, Susan G. Komen, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And it's like, yeah, but if you do some digging on Susan G. Komen specifically, you realize that 90% of the money they make is either spent paying executives or suing other cancer charities. Like, a charity should not sue another charity in the same space. But that's what Susan G. Komen and the cancer awareness charities do. It's like, no. I can't support these guys. I genuinely dislike it when I see a company with the big Susan G. Komen branding everywhere. Virtue signaling, effectively, and going, look at how great we are. We've got a cancer awareness charity. Yeah, the worst one. But WWE, no doubt, will make a big deal of it this month. They sue other cancer charities. Usually for the pink ribbon. Because apparently Susan G. Komen is the only charity that actually is allowed to use the pink ribbon or something. I don't know. I don't care. I don't like them. And I don't respect a single thing they do. Would a charity stream be an idea some evening? I'd love to arrange one, John, honestly. The problem I have, frankly, with doing a charity stream is I don't feel like I've got the audience now to do one. A couple of years, like 2 years ago, I think would have been the best time, but I toyed with the idea then, and it just fell through. I think now just the audience isn't there anymore around my channel to do a charity stream justice as much as I'd love to do one. But I can totally, like, see if I can't figure something out to do something anyway. Do I think the Lexion... I mean, I don't really care, Farm Bros. I'm probably not going to use it much. I'm probably going to use the smaller combines in Platinum, because I don't generally use the biggest ones in game anyway. Oh, was it 80% they actually eventually put towards, you know, actually doing something instead of just whining and suing people? Like, I'm sorry, but a charity should be... Oh, no, not again. Don't do this. You didn't end the stream, did you? You did not. The Takano, yeah, that's the one I'd use most of the time. Yeah, can we not talk about just Susan G. Komen, because it's just going to turn into me screaming about how terrible that charity is for the remainder of the stream. By the way, Carturix, if you're here, thanks for following me on Twitch. I did it on my end? What? What, pal? It's showing the same chat and the same thing. Hey, Dennis. I mean, it might have lagged for a bit because I lost a bit of connection. But that was about it. So I was just checking something. Now I need to reopen OBS and stuff. You need to go up there a touch. You need to go down there a touch. There we go. Everything's fine with streaming. Yeah. My internet's just being unreliable. Like I've only actually dropped 1.8% of frames. Someone made an edit of Lone Oak. You like his build more than you do the Stockyard. So what he's done is he's taken a real life farmyard and decided it's not suitable for the real life farm that has that yard. And you're saying that's a good thing somehow. Just spoiler alert, this entire map is based in real life. Everything on this map is well, except that like there are obviously some concessions to the game, but the yards are all real. Ancients also have a promo code. Unfortunately, John, it's just the affiliate link for servers. I wish I had a promo code to give you, but I don't, unfortunately. Well, like the saying goes for like if you want to pre-order platinum from Giants, you can totally do so using the link that I put in. And I wish Giants would give those links some sort of discount to encourage people to use them. That's direct buying from Giants. You'll get it the minute it releases on October 22nd. And you will get all the pre-order stuff only on PC, I should mention. That link only works for the PC version. If you're on console, I unfortunately can't help you there. My internet is not day-friendly mood today in general, Yanis. Cheers, John. I don't think I actually benefited from the affiliate link from Nitrado, but it like I don't directly benefit. It does help because it lets Nitrado know that people are watching me and willing to pay for servers. Yeah, and if you're on console, if you have the season pass, you've already pre-ordered the DLC, and you will get all of the pre-order bonuses. That's what the season pass is just you pre-order everything at once. If you pre-order separately, you can still totally get the bonuses. Now, if you pre-order on PC, I'm not promising anything. And I haven't heard anything, but Giants usually throw in an extra bonus, an extra little thing, if you pre-order directly from them. They like rewarding people who go directly through them, because that gives them more money to play around with. Yeah, we're not having the best of weather here either, and there is kind of a hurricane on the way. It's currently a hurricane, but it's due to hit on like Thursday or Friday as a tropical storm. So, by the way, I might not be streaming on like Thursday or Friday. Because if there is a massive storm coming through, I'm not streaming, I'm not risking... Like, I'm not doing something where I've kind of committed my time and I'm not going to be able to turn my PC off very quickly. I'm going to just do stuff on my laptop, which I will probably have disconnected from power for the most part. And, just be a bit more cautious, because... Yeah. You're doing something wrong, but you can't see it. Try different cables and stuff, Brendan. That's all I can suggest. And make sure you've got your TV tuned to the right channel. That might sound silly, but again, a mistake I've legit made. Failing that, like, if there's a PC repair shop, go in there and ask if they'd be willing to send somebody over just to give you a hand. You might need to pay them a few quid, but if you explain what the hell the deal is, they might be willing to help and not ask for money. You've it set to HDMI 1. Are you sure you're plugging the cable into HDMI 1? We're getting... Yeah, the entirety of Ireland is due to get it. And, like, there's several storms after... or forecasts for after Lorenzo as well, so... just kind of keeping my eye on the weather. Because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm streaming and there's, like, lightning. Do you know something that my TV did downstairs for the longest time? Was it... The HDMI 1 port was actually HDMI 2. Which is why I'm saying that try a different HDMI channel. It might be that it's working, it's just not coming through on the HDMI channel you're expecting. This is what troubleshooting is, by the way, Brendan, when it comes to PCs, is... Huh, this one thing isn't working. What happens if I twiddle this bit over here? It's still not working. What happens if I poke this thing? Now it works. Why did poking that thing make it work? But twiddling the thing over there didn't. Sometimes you just gotta try and figure it out by effectively trying even like increasingly more ludicrous solutions. I've already suggested a different cable, Ozzy. That was one of my first suggestions, was a cable issue. Like we've suggested different cable, different HDMI port, different cable in different HDMI port, both ways. This is, but Ozzy Tank, but just for your information, this is his first PC and he's not used to PC issues. Brendan, I never did explain the red light. The red light is just an indicator light telling you that the hard drive works. Or that there is power. Google it for help. I think we're kind of reaching the end of what it could be other than like a fried connector somewhere. Or a fried cable. Which he never did say if he tried a different cable. Gieselberg is a great fit for Platinum DLC. I think any map is a great fit for Platinum DLC. That's why they don't have one. Like, as much as I love Class tractors, I will say, or Class equipment, I will say this. Class is a very generic brand. They can fit pretty much anywhere in the world, with the exception of, like, America. This class isn't huge over there. If that's the case, Yanis, then whoever pre-built it for him needs to ask themselves some serious questions about how good they actually are at building PCs. On the bright side, he has, like, half of the community know how to deal with PC issues. So, including me, because I tend to cause them. In fact, I need to figure out an issue I've been having on mine at some point. And I think it's something to do with the underneath of my desk being a mess. It's a German map in classes from Germany. Right, but class doesn't exist only in Germany. In fact, they're like the world's second biggest brand. After some green dude called John, who apparently made a plow once. And likes deers. You know, just because a brand is German doesn't mean that you have to be on a German map to welcome it into the game. I'm going to be welcoming it in on, it's looking increasing like it's going to be Oakfield. That's from my PC. It's just heating a bit. It's retaining a lot of heat, and I think it's just there's not enough ventilation getting out the back. So I'm gonna try and figure out a way to get more ventilation working. I've got all my fan ports taken up though, so I may have to do some faffing with it. Possibly with a drill, or possibly just take the side off. But I think the easiest solution is to clear up under my desk, because then there'll be more air available for it to deal with. So it's looking like it's going to be 2 gravity wagons of soybeans out of that field. Then we'll need to... I've just realised I never repainted the header. There goes your Abby McCormick plans for Shamrock. Oh, dude, fair warning to everybody. Like, I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. Fair warning to literally everybody. I'm going to be spamming the crap out of class equipment once it's out, because I like class. If you don't like class, or you want me to use nothing but John Deere's, tough luck. I'm using what I want, and what I want is class. So you can try and be Batista and scream, "Give me what I want, all you like," and I'll just ignore you. Whee! Up the size of your case and look back. I mean, that is definitely an idea. When the last clean the dust out of my... That's what I think that's kind of a second solution I have. The primary solution is just getting more air around, which is going to mean just basically that I need to tidy up under my desk, which I need to do anyway. And while I'm doing that, if I've got time, because it's going to be... Cleaning out under my desk is going to be a full day job that I'm hoping to do... I might actually get started after the stream. I might start doing that after the stream and just dive in there with a... Could be an intake problem, not getting enough fresh air. That's also an issue. There's a lot of things that it could be, and it's just going to be a case of trying to fix all of them at once. The only one that I don't want to try and fix is the case size, because I'm really running up against the amount of space I have under my desk at the moment as an issue. If I had to increase the size of my case, I'd need to move my PC somewhere else. Put a fan next to the air vent. You know, before... That's something I'm not willing to do. I don't want to bodge a solution. I want to solve it permanently. And it is just a case of like it's the case is retaining a lot of heat, and I just need to figure out a way to prevent it from doing that. And if the case is heating up, it means there's hot air being kept in and not being vented. So I just need to figure out a way to increase venting. Even if it means like drilling a couple holes in the top of the case. Because obviously hot air rises, and the best solution to hot air being kept in somewhere is just drill a hole at the top and or cut a hole in the top somehow and just give it somewhere to escape. You have Sim's exact specs. I have an i7 4790K and a 2070. An RTX 2070 80C from Strix. So I'm running slightly higher specs than Sim. E-ATX aren't much bigger than normal ATX. I'm using a mini ATX at the moment, a 2/3 size case. I'll figure out a solution, guys, don't worry. I think Fred is onto a winner there, that my PC just needs a clean. I haven't cleaned it in a little bit, and it's like, and yeah, I have a feeling that it's the front panel is the issue that's causing all the airflow issues, because it's a plastic panel that has zero, like next to zero spots for air to get in and out. So all of the venting is happening towards the back of the case, and also actually it's all at the back. Did I just say better specs than you? Similar. I said similar, if not marginally better. We're probably actually running fairly similar systems overall, except for CPU. Your processor is better than mine, but graphics cards are much of a muchness. And I think that's my problem, Yanis. Is like the only area for air to vent at the front is actually at the bottom, which hot air trying to vent at the bottom is not a good idea. We need a thermal paste. That's something I'd need to buy, actually, is a new thermal paste, because I used up the last of it when I was installing the liquid cooler. I'll see what my my budget's like at the moment and make a few calls on that. Either way, I'll figure out a solution, even if it's a temporary one, that's just like take the side off the PC for a while. $1080 and DDR4 are still a lot more powerful. I mean, I got DDR5, dude. Or GDDR5. Add more fans. Can't do that, farm boy. All my fan slots are taken. Has my PC got fan filters? No, they've all been removed. I actually made it a point to remove them because I realized they would just restrict airflow, and that's not something I ever want to do. Adding more fans is an option. All of the fan slots are taken. By the way, Sim, do you want to talk about your Discord and where it's gone? while you're talking to people in chat here. Because I've had a few questions about your Discord and where it's disappeared to. Hey, do your 5 RAM? No, I've got to your 3 RAM. I thought you meant like VRAM. Farming boy, stop with the stupid suggestions, please. Like, I appreciate you're making jokes, but they're not funny. And, I'm just not in the mood for it today. Hey, Welsh. How's it going, dude? Chris, hello. I'm doing good, how are you? How are you doing today? I've not cleaned my rad in a while, ever, actually. So, that could be it too. Like, I'm gonna give my PC a deep clean, once I've got under my desk cleaned out. Oh, it's GDDR6? Okay. See you, farm bros. Hello, Richard. How's it going? It's going good. How's it going with you, dude? Gonna stand inside this wheel for a bit. I am the tire. I can't be the other tire. I can be this tire, but not that tire. Sit in the hospital with your daughter. How is she, Welsh? And how is her mother? Well. Like, how are they both? I hope it all went relatively smoothly. It never goes perfect, but you know, you can hope for the best. Sakes are not good, lost your voice and supporting the Dutch farmers. Yeah, I don't know what the Dutch farmer argument is, so I can't speak on it one way or another. All I can say is that angering the public maybe isn't the best idea for getting the public around to your cause. You know, doing stupid things like creating the largest traffic jam in the history of a country is not going to get people sympathetic to you. Getting the word out to what your grievance is might get people sympathetic. Angering them and inconveniencing them is not. Oh, battery's dead. She's eating her bottles. Well, the bottles isn't supposed to be edible. She's supposed to be drinking out of them, not eating them. She shouldn't even be on solids yet, never mind bottles. Terrible jokes, and I don't apologize. Trying to keep her unworried. I mean, she should be worried because you're trying to feed her your daughter some glass or plastic or whatever the bottle's made of. Babies don't eat bottles. Can me simulate Landy please flashing lights? There you go, farm boy. Oh, hang on, there's two at the front. There you go. Flashing lights, just as you requested. Is anyone actually meant to be eating bottles? I mean, maybe. You get those little milk bottle sweets? Yeah, but the kid's only like a few weeks old. That's the problem, Fred. Hey, James. And Jim as well. So, yeah, no. When we play Flashing Lights, I don't think Sim has it installed. And a problem we ran into, we did do some multiplayer. That's better, Welsh. The problem we ran into, we did do multiplayer, the three of us, before. And, she was born on the 13th. You expect me to do maths? When I'm, like, barely even here today? No. No, that's not something I'm gonna do. What date is it today? Today is the 31st of September. 31 take 13 is 19? 18 days old. I know, by the way, it's the 1st of October, but it's much easier to just add the extra day to the end of September and call it the 31st for the purposes of maths. James, you reckon that was an oversight? We reckon that was an oversight in Giants testing. It might get pulled down yet. Yes, I know today's October 1st. I was October 1st. I was using September 31st as a maths tool. Because it's much easier to work out dates when they're all in the same month. Using fictional things for maths purposes is genuinely a thing. Same in science, is you invent a thing that doesn't exist for the purpose of just working something else out. And your fiction can just be based on something that is real. Like today, if September had 31 days, would be the 31st of September. But it is in fact the 1st of October, so I just add the extra day onto the end of September for the simple reason of working out how many days it's been since the 13th of September. It's a vaguely useful tool, but does tend to lead to some confusion when you try and explain it to people. Great philosopher. I mean, it's an easy way for me to look good at maths, is to just invent days. I mean, I could have just said, oh, nearly 3 weeks, but that doesn't sound as good as working out dates and adding a magical extra day to the... Oh, no, it's... Come on. My controller disconnected. There we go. So, next job is going to be grabbing the corn. Then after that I can skip to late autumn effectively. Can I do that? I think I can do that. But do I want to... I don't know what I want to do anymore. I really don't. Like, there's about 3 things that I want to do today. One is tidy under my desk. The other is... Another is doing a bit of typing and stuff like that. The other is just going back to bed and giving up on the day entirely, because I'm in that kind of mood today. There's one control. I mean, I was hitting it around, so it's gonna be loud when I'm giving it a bit of abuse. Shot of whiskey and back to bed. I don't drink. I'm just in a mood where I. So has my. Why has my. Go up there a bit. There we go. I don't know why my mic was in the way. Oh, I do know why my mic was in the way. Ah, yes. I didn't adjust that one. I adjusted this. I moved my seat up because I realised it's actually more comfortable when there's a bit of suspension to it. It's always been like at the very bottom of its travel. And I moved it up just for a bit of extra comfort when I'm sitting down, so I'm not just basically blah. Right, let's get the combine. You stay up all night playing video games? I do not do well staying up all night. Like, I stayed up a bit late last night to watch Raw, and I'm regretting it today because I woke up late and I'm just tired. Comically, I can't stay up as late as I used to. Like, if I try... Oh, good lord. If I try and stay up as late as I used to regularly stay up, I will just fall asleep in my chair. So, I think old age is starting to get to me. The ripe old age of 28, I think I am. And I have to get my sleep at nights. Right, where did I put the corn header for this thing? The corn header is, I think... You just realized where they're called gravity wings. Yeah, there's the corn header. So if I put you... Goes downhill after 30. Is that really like 3 a.m.? Like 3 a.m. like I'm fine going to bed at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. I'm fine going to bed at. It's if I stay up much longer that I just kind of feel like this the next day where I'm just super tired. I used to regularly go to bed at like 6 a.m. 7 a.m. It's like I went to bed at I think 5 this morning. I was like, oh no, day is a write-off. I am too tired to do a whole hell of a lot. By the way, I was reading a thing earlier on today on, I think it was Twitter, about a farmer in Northern Ireland who's like gearing up for Brexit, which I'm not going to go into Brexit. But his name might be familiar to Americans. Davy Crockett. And if the name is familiar to Americans, and maybe some others, I don't know. If the name Davy Crockett is familiar to Americans and you're wondering, is he related to that Davy Crockett? Yes! Yes, he is! Davy Crockett's, like, great-great-grandson or something owns a farm in Ireland. Or some sort of distant relative, at least. Let's get this corn done, and that'll be the harvest done for the year. After that, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might well plough up the fields. Wait till 50, just around the corner, you fell asleep playing Farm Sim. Oh, I do that too, because I've done that. I've been playing a game and just straight up fallen asleep. I've also fallen asleep mid-conversation with people. Who's Davy Crockett? Davy Crockett was an American frontiersman in, I think, the 1800s. And his, like, relative, I don't know what the relation is, but one of his relatives is a farmer in Ireland. He owns a farm that is 3/4 in the Republic of Ireland and 1/4 in Northern Ireland, which is why he was in a thing on Brexit. And, not going to talk about Brexit in any sort of detail. Or give my thoughts. Other than I thought it was cool that there was the link to the American frontiersman Davy Crockett. And by the way, if you're wondering, yes, I do just have this repository of random junk knowledge in my head. Sim can verify that I keep coming up with these completely pointless facts that for some reason I know, but have absolutely no bearing on life whatsoever. I do that quite regularly as well. Just, hey, did you guys know that random, completely junk fact that nobody ever needs to know? Like, Dave, how do you know this? I just know things. Important information. No, I forget that. Absolute junk I'll never need. Yep, that needs to be remembered. Like, there. Also, I feel like this header is like way too small for this combine. It possibly is, but it's maybe not. Here's a question for people who might know this, because I don't. Why are corn headers so small? Is it because you're actually harvesting the kernels and not the actual ears, and the ears have to be shucked? In the yes, like ants and matchsticks. Is it because you gotta shuck the corn in the harvester, and that takes like the extra power that a normal header for like grain would normally take for much wider swath? Hey, NS, what the hell? NS Spider 104, there we go. I might need to wear my glasses. I might need to put on my glasses. Also, sorry NS Spider for completely botching the snot out of your name twice. I am going blind. You can't hum while holding your nose. Here's one for you, James. You can... It is physically impossible for you to tickle yourself. Physically impossible for you to intentionally tickle yourself. Nissan runs number 23 on their cars, and Japanese number 23 sounds like Nissan. Ah! And the number... Is it 8? I think it is. In China is not used in many places because it is very similar to the word for death. It's either 8, it's like a single digit number. Similar to how we've got the fascination with 13 being unlucky. You can tickle the top of your mouth and that's it. Where's my... Hang on, I'm not supposed to be tapping, am I? Where's my tractor that I need? I enjoy the fact that I never made a rule. I didn't never make a rule. Never made a rule against using super speed. There's no word in the English language where Q comes without a U. Yeah. The word Q is the only word in the English language where all but one of the letters are silent. Hello, Simulator Gaming. No, Sim, I'm not sticking my fingers in my mouth on stream. Puts more strain. That's what I'm thinking, cuz. That's why I think the corner is smaller, but I don't know for sure why. That's why I asked the question. Like, I'd like to know the definitive reason, not just like my best guess. Which my best guess sounds logical, so it's probably the case. It's the simplest. The simplest answer to a problem is usually the best one. Don't know why I did that. Solve the explain issue. Was it a simulator gaming is just not patient enough issue? Because I get the feeling it was a simulator gaming is just not patient enough issue. Or, in technical terms, a PEBCAC. Problem exists between chair and keyboard. Welcome back, Aaron. I'm just busy calling simulator gaming a PEBCAC. Dense and tough on ripe corn. Yeah, like I would expect it's because of just the corn takes a lot more energy and puts a lot more wear on the harvester, so they shrink down the header to make it a bit easier on the machine. Hey, Jake. It only works if you run it as administrator. Well, then run it as administrator. Problem solved. It sounds like something you should see the doctor for. Probably. Fun fact, by the way, seeing as it's October, it's a bit early to be talking about this, but Halloween is not, as some people seem to think, an American holiday, nor is it about trick-or-treating. It is an ancient Irish holiday, or Celtic holiday, but it was traditionally in Ireland and Scotland, called Samhain. And combine, do we say in Ireland? We say combine harvester, yeah. Call them just combines. Harvesters, machines, whatever. Time to change it. See you, Welsh. Enjoy. So the holding capacity of the combines, you can fit a lot less corn you can grade, apparently. Oh, okay. That makes sense, actually, because, like, corn is quite a large crop. Like, physically. Yeah, Samhain, ancient Halloween, Celtic Halloween. It's kind of a combination of almost. It wasn't really a harvest celebration. It was an end of summer celebration and kind of a winter is coming kind of thing. Very Game of Thronesy. When Ireland was being converted to Christianity back nearly 1,000 years ago, actually over 1,000 years ago, the church saw fit that it was a good idea to just rename some of the old Celtic festivals like Halloween, or Ichachana, and like Samhain, which was actually the day after, and is now known as the Day of All Souls. And Halloween originally was you like celebrate with turnips and whatnot instead of pumpkins. That was an American change. It was changing turnips to pumpkins for the jack-o'-lanterns. It was just to celebrate the dead, kind of like the Day of the Dead in Mexico. And yeah, it was taken up by the church initially just for Ireland, and then as the Irish moved around the world over time, it was taken up elsewhere, and now it's like a huge thing. According to this, many farms in the US have 12 row headers still in use 8. Yeah, I mean, 12 row headers are... This is an 8 row header, I think. I want to say it's an 8 row. 1, 2... I have to stop and count this. Hang on. 1, 2, 3... 4, 5... 6, 7, 8... Yeah, it's an 8 row header. So this is about the right size of header for... like, the US then. If it's an 8 row, and you've just said that the US mainly uses 8 rows. If you light fire in a grain tank, you'll never use popcorn again. I mean, it's a John Deere, so the whole idea of using this combine is we desperately need to try and avoid fires. Because that's what John Deere combines are famous for, is deciding they no longer want to be combines and they want to be campfires. Turnip spice lattes and turnip pie. Well, that's the thing. That's another thing that the Americans invented, was like pumpkins needed to be used in things. Kind of a utilitarian thing was like pumpkins. I think pumpkins were just easier to get in America than turnips were, so the Irish just used pumpkins instead, and it like started cooking with them because that was how things were done in Ireland, as nothing got thrown away ever. That's why stews exist. and casseroles. They're both kind of Irish inventions, just because, hey, this food lasts longer if we cook it for like 3 weeks. It's near Christmas, and its purpose is to fend off evil, so next year starts well. That was another purpose behind Samhain and Ihauna, was just kind of fending off the evil spirits and appeasing them. You're kind of helping the spirits go to the spirit realm. It was seen as like the day of the year where the earth was closest to the spirit realm, and they could pass through and say hello and scare people and go, woo, spooky, and stuff like that. And that's partially where the fancy dress came from. That was an Irish invention that the Americans turned into trick-or-treating. Was you'd dress up as spirits, as like ghosts and skeletons and spirits and like whatever your opinion of a spirit was. So that if they did come through, they wouldn't think you were human, and they'd spare you, or be pleased, or be calmed, or whatever. I don't know what the exact reasoning behind it was. You drag a log through town, so it collects all the bad, and you burn to clean town. We have, in my family at least, a tradition. A couple of weird traditions on New Year. So, as close as possible to midnight, obviously we do the Happy New Year thing at midnight, but then we do some odd stuff, which is we have a loaf of bread every year set aside for New Year, and that gets thrown against the front door and the back door. I can't remember the reasoning behind it. I'd need to ask, but it's something about cleansing the doors. And then After the bread's been lobbed at the doors, both doors get opened at the same time to leave all of the bad air out the back and all of the new air in the front. So out with the old, in with the new kind of situation. It's just a really weird thing. And we've done it for probably a few generations in my family, in various iterations. The bread thing is for luck. It's supposed to bring luck by lobbing a loaf of bread at some doors. Not entirely sure why, but... or why it specifically has to be a loaf of bread. I think it'd be much funnier if it was like... spaghetti. Just lobbing spaghetti at some doors. Happy New Year, spaghetti! Hey, Mozzie. Is the New Year pasta cooked yet? Happy New Year, don't be upsetty, have some spaghetti. To pool your look for next year. That's a pretty cool idea, actually. Although maybe a bit toxic, because tin is slightly toxic. You hate Halloween. You're wrong. I need to find something for Halloween. There's something that I'd like to wear on Halloween. I don't know where it is. I'll need to find it. And I want to see if it'll still fit me. Because if it does, I'm wearing it at Halloween. If I'm streaming on Halloween, I don't know what day of the year Halloween is this year. Hello, Stig. You love New Year because it's your birthday. I love New Year because I don't tend to do much on New Year's Day. I tend to be a bit hungover. Your granddad used to start New Year by going out the front door with a piece of coal, bringing it back in the back door. See, that's similar to what we do, in a way, cause with the something related to front and back door, like various things related to front and back doors, and items, specific items that they don't make a hell of a lot of sense, but they're traditional things. Weird conversation you joined to. Yeah, Mossy, welcome to the stream today, where I'm just talking nonsense and hoping people will engage me in talking nonsense, because I'm just in a weird headspace today. I'm not like 100% there today. You don't celebrate Halloy. What the hell is Halloy? We're talking about Halloween, not Halloy. Ah yes, happy Halloy! You don't celebrate Halloween? I mean, Halloween's not supposed to be celebrated, that's the thing. It's a very American thing to celebrate Halloween and to decorate and crap. It's supposed to be kind of a solemn day. Which for the sake of kids is being celebrated, which, you know, that's fine, but it's supposed to be fairly solemn. Traditionally, at least. Like, highly traditional. Isn't Halloy a type of ham? It might be. Maybe it's like when you... Like, when you mix metals, it's called an alloy. Is a halloy when you mix types of ham? You get like two different kinds of ham and like pulverize them together. Is that then a halloy? You can't spell. Neither can I, but that's never stopped me before. To be fair, I can't read very well today. I really should have worn my glasses for today's stream, as it turns out, and. Yeah. Listen to animals talking as humans. Was that tradition stopped because people realized that animals don't talk as humans? Yeah, so some weird traditions worldwide are just fascinating and at the same time kind of hilarious. You know, I'm not going to knock them because they're traditions and it's part of the culture, but some of them are just plain weird. Like the Irish tradition of eating literally every bit of an animal. There is a bit of Irish cuisine that you can still get in parts of Cork, and I'd love to try someday. I'd love to try it. It's called crew beans. It's called crubini. And what it is it's pig's trotters that have been stewed for like, it's usually like a day and a half to 2 days. I'd love to try it sometime. It's supposed to be delicious. And I've realized that some of the most disgusting sounding food is actually delicious, like haggis. Haggis is delicious. I like haggis. I've not had it in years, but I like it. And calamari I like as well. Like octopus rings. Or octopus... I think it's octopus's calamari. That's really nice too. Tastes of really, really kind of rubbery cod. Oh yes, this is definitely a trailer that I'm in. Bonfire night, we celebrate a fail. Yeah, I'm so glad that we don't celebrate that in Ireland. That said, I've just realised Halloween is coming up, which means that I'm going to have to deal with the local scumbags having bought fireworks up north again. They're illegal in the Republic, but not in the north, so people just go up to Northern Ireland and buy a buttload of fireworks and then bring them home and start setting them off at all hours of the night. If they're particularly dumb, they'll set them off in broad daylight, which happens unnervingly regularly. That at like 2 in the afternoon you just start hearing some fireworks going off because some idiots decided it was a really funny idea to set them off at 2 in the afternoon on a really nice sunny day. You're never going to be able to see fireworks. Like, yes, you are a moron, sir. Well done. Did you just want to hear a bang? Because that's pretty much all you've succeeded in doing, is creating a very loud noise that's just annoyed everybody. In the middle of the afternoon. Anyway, I think we're making... Are we making good progress across... Oh, we're making okay progress. That's the feel. I'm going to set a hired worker off, because I'm feeling lazy. Celebrate summer solstice. Supposed to stay up all night for some reason, but everyone just grills me. And spend the evening and chills and talks. Here it's the winter solstice that gets celebrated, Yanis. And it's a kind of a wonderfully big deal. Where it's one of 2 days of the year. It happens the summer solstice as well, but the more historically meaningful one, and it's still meaningful for the local pagans, is the winter solstice. There's a passage tomb in up the country in Newgrange that was built before the pyramids. I think it's 5,000 or 6,000 years old, and to this day on the summer and winter solstices the light comes in through a box above the door, and it goes down the hallway. They're the only 2 days this is actually possible. It goes down the hallway and lights up the main chamber. And it's the light box is at the exact height and size and angle and, you know, pointing in just the exact direction that it only happens those 2 days of the year. And for something that's 5,000 years old, it's kind of impressive the precision with which they worked that out. So I think people deciding that because Stonehenge, I'm going to use Stonehenge as an example here because I feel like there's more to it than what people think. People think that Stonehenge is just a stone circle that was used for prayers. Maybe there's more to it, but the more to it has been lost over time. Because Stonehenge, I think, is younger than Newgrange Passage Tomb. How did I set up video? No. But I think Stonehenge is younger than Newgrange, so if Newgrange was able to do that kind of stuff 5,000 years ago, I feel like there's more to Stonehenge than immediately meets the eye in terms of ruins or any recreations. You know, I feel like there was something more detailed and mathematical to Stonehenge. It's a hell of a piece of ancient technology. I mean, it's, I would argue, like, more impressive in a way than the pyramids. Because the pyramids, well, they're a shadow of their former selves. They used to be covered in lime and, like, bright white with a golden capstone. Like, all the pyramids really were was just hey, we figured out how to make big heavy stones into a cool shape. Newgrange's, hey, we figured out how to make big heavy stones into this very precise bit of engineering. And effectively a gigantic calendar. Where they could, like, they'd have druids and priests and whatnot down there. Probably most mornings blessing the dead and whatnot, because it was a tomb. And those 2 days of the year, the priests could come up and say, oh, hey, it's this day. Our calendar has been off by like 2 days because we forgot to count. Or something. Yeah, it's kind of ancient pocket watch, in a way. Granted, Newgrange isn't the only one of those tombs, it's just the biggest. And I think it was one of the first found. And the only one, I think, with a light box. So on dawn of December 21st, on dawn of the winter solstice, there is, last I heard, the waiting list was like 10 or 12 years to be in the chamber at dawn. It's got this hideously long waiting list because it's such an impressive bit of history that, like, people want to be down there, and they've got VIPs, and VIPs pay like tons, and the actual news comes out every year to do a piece on it and to cover it live on TV and stuff, and it's really weird and also kind of impressive. It also shows that Ireland is a much older country than some people seem to think. That we have evidence of civilization before even the pyramids were built. And they're seen as like, oh, these are the most impressive things in the ancient world. I see your pyramids, and I raise you ancient calculator. That's even older than the pyramids. The thing like that in New York, where the sunset shines down one specific street once or twice a year, it wasn't built to do that. Here's the thing, Yanis. Newgrange, archaeologists found this out. Newgrange was 100% built to do what it does. The entire point of the lightbox was to do specifically what it does. And they worked this out somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 years ago. What time do I start live every day? Around about 5 PM Irish time. So it does change depending on time zone, or depending on like daylight savings and whatnot. So it'll be 5 GMT towards the end of the month when the clocks go back. But right now it's 5 PM GMT plus 1 as daylight savings is effect. That's the time I aim for. Sundays for Flight Sim, it can be a bit more freeform, same with Fridays for whatever I decide to do on a Friday. But it's around about 5-ish usually. It's usually actually a bit later than that. Hey Diesel. How's tricks? Things are going good. I'm kind of sorting things out one by one. At the moment, I need to do like a small bit of. This is like, the way that I've got things sorted out, I need to just do a tiny bit of rejigging on my floor. Then I can do under my desk, which is going to be a big job. Because it's mainly shoes. There's tons of shoes. And the unfortunate thing about there being tons of shoes is there's actually tons of shoes under my bed as well, so I'll need to do under my bed and under my desk at the same time. To figure out how many shoes I actually have. And which ones can just get, like, straight up thrown out because they're individual shoes and I don't have the sisters of them anymore or whatnot. But, that's a problem for another day. I think I'll do some writing instead tonight. But it is 7 o'clock. It is, that time. It is time for me to finish up. I've been live for nearly 2 hours. An hour and 3/4. I'll be back tomorrow with some Oakfield, most likely, and just chatting. Unless something, like, huge releases tomorrow, or I get access to something huge. I'll be back tomorrow with some more Farm Sim. Until then, stay safe, and goodbye.